until the Iowa caucuses. Presidential candidates from both parties are making their last-minute pitches to voters. Republican hopeful Joe Walsh is one of them. He has visited the state dozens of times, recently writing an op-ed in the Des Moines Register saying this: "In the hundreds of hours I've spent talking to regular Iowans over the past few months, I found in Iowa what I've found nearly everywhere else I've campaigned. Communities of people who should be thriving but instead are suffering, all because of this erratic and reckless administration. Communities of people exhausted with the Donald Trump show, yearning for a president who will focus on the country."
The former Illinois Republican Congressman Joe Walsh joins us now. Congressman, thanks for joining us as always. First, I want to get your reaction to Republicans saying that they are going to vote against having new witnesses. Specifically, we have heard from Senator Lamar Alexander that he is going to vote no. He says that the Senate doesn't need to hear any witnesses because the House impeachment managers have already basically proven their case. He said President Trump withheld that aid for Ukraine, at least in part, to try to get them to conduct investigations into the Bidens. But he says it does not rise to the level of impeachment.
Hey, Jake Wolf, just cowardly. I mean, absolutely cowardly. I'm a Republican running for president. This is a difficult thing for me to say, but these Senate Republicans are going to pay a big price in November for what they're about to do, and they deserve to pay a big price. I mean, think about it. And I don't think any of us sufficiently understand how profoundly wrong it is what they're about to do. These Senate Republicans are going to render a verdict without demanding a trial. No witnesses, no evidence, no documents. They're going to decide acquittal or removal without a trial. I mean, that's profoundly wrong. And your polling and most of the polling around the country knows that most of the American people know that that's wrong. And Senate Republicans are going to pay a price for that this November. It's so disappointing.
Who do you think is going to pay a price? I mean, obviously, Lamar Alexander is not running for re-election. Most Republicans, voters, do not support impeachment. And so, I mean, obviously, Susan Collins, who says she's going to vote for additional witnesses and additional documents, you're not talking about her. Mitt Romney says he's going to vote the same way. But who are you talking about?
Jake, I think any Republican up for re-election this November in the United States Senate is in real trouble, and they will lose. And people like Cory Gardner and even Tom Tillis and Susan Collins. Look, I was campaigning yesterday in Iowa. I was working the line out. Yes, most of those folks in line to go listen to one of Donald Trump's lie-filled rallies, they're not going to abandon the Republican Party. But Cory Gardner and Republicans need more than just that base to win. The polling shows that 75% of the American people wanted witnesses, wanted evidence, wanted an actual trial. And for these Republicans to just not even ask for, I mean, sit through John Bolton, sit through Mitt Mulvaney, and then if you want to acquit the president, do it. But to not even demand a trial, the American people know that's wrong. Most of them do.
I want